Today, I'm shooting macro. So a little bit about the setup. Of course, I'm shooting this time overhead using this boom, which is really a light boom. And I have my D800 with a 100 millimeter, which is the perfect size lens for macro. I'm using a remote because I'm going to be shooting fairly slow speeds. For lighting, I'm going to be using two studio lights, both of them LEDs. One, I have a diffuser over it, so it softens the light a little bit. The other one is adjustable, so I can adjust that without having to use any kind of diffuser. And then I have these assorted shells, a starfish. For the background, I'm going to be using this, which is my painting table. And this is a piece of canvas that has all kinds of paint all over it. And some of it I think is going to make an interesting background. But starting off, I'm going to use one of my painting aprons, which I haven't gotten any paint on yet. I have others that are quite messy. And then I have these two lights, a red one and a blue one, that I use to add kind of color effects. I think it can be really interesting to use the colored lights. You may not like it, so do it however you want to. I just like adding that extra color depth. So let's get started. And make sure everything's turned on. Now, because I'm shooting this overhead, it would be really difficult to use the viewfinder, so I'm using the back view screen, which this is a D800, so it doesn't tip, flip, or move around at all. So kind of having to just look at this upside down and hope that I'm getting it right. I am using autofocus. This lens will autofocus with this body. So we'll start off, we'll focus it in. Hopefully that's right. Take the picture, let it wait. And that looks good. I'm going to increase the size of this so I get a better, that's better. Now for some reason I'm getting this dot here. I'm not sure where it's coming from. But we'll continue. The dot is easily removable in Lightroom or Photoshop. So now let's try it with just the red light. So that will leave this slightly reddish on this side and of course black on the other side. Not moving the starfish at all. I'm just going to leave it right where it is. Well, actually I fibbed. I am going to move it a little bit. I'd like to see all 5 arms, or at least the suggestion. To get more background and more of the starfish, I would have to raise this, this boom arm, and I'm not really wanting to do that if I don't have to. So, red light only. I'm going to try it with blue light only. And again, that'll give it some bluish tint on what is my left and leaving it dark on the other side. Okay, so far so good, at least what I can see in this tiny little screen. Alright, now what I'm going to do is switch out, try something different. Give this a light brush off because unfortunately these shells are pretty old and they tend to shed little bits of themselves. So now we're going to try this one and try just a little tilt. And maybe push that off since that edge or those two pieces are broken. And again, refocus. And do it no light. got this blue dot in the same place. There might be something on my sensor. That's alright, I can fix it. Alright, I'll try the blue light. And I'm not going to refocus because I haven't moved it. Or did I focus? Maybe I will. I have my camera set up on aperture priority, and I've set the aperture to f8. So I want to try and get as much of these shells in focus as possible, but considering the distance between the lens and the subject, it's still going to be, not the whole thing's going to be in focus. Alright, red light. I think I like these better with both colors, and if I was only going to be using one, I think I like the red better because it's warmer, especially on this black. Alright, so there's that one. And that's really kind of it for this background. Now what I'm going to do is take this cloth off and just shoot against this piece of canvas covering, which this is also my painting work table. And so there's lots of paint on here, and that I think is going to make an interesting background. We'll see. Alright, just to give you an idea of what this background looks like just by itself. And then when you add something on top of it, and focus on the thing on top, then it tends to be out of focus and looks really cool, I think. Again, yeah, I definitely like this with both lights. And one of the things to know about composition is that humans tend to like things odd numbers. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you would, click that like button, subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next one.